afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, ma'am. Today, I will be reporting my topic, grammatical rules and semantic components. In my presentation, I will discuss three key areas: grammatical rules, methodology, and thematic roles. These components are essential in unraveling the richness of language and understanding how words and structures convey meaning. So we're going to explore how the way sentences are built influences their meanings, looking at the world of grammatical rules. After that, we'll dive into how linguists study language, checking out things like middle constructions, cognitive constructions, and body part ascension. Finally, we'll dig into the roles of different parts in sentences and how they connect, uncovering the secrets of verbs that change location and the connections between words. We have here the three topics. The first one is the grammatical rules and semantic components. The second one is the methodology, and the third one is the thematic roles and linking rules. We have here a quick definition of semantics. Semantics in the realm of linguistics refers to the study of meaning in language. It delves into how words and structures convey specific meanings, going beyond mere syntax to explore the nuances that give language depth and precision. Role of semantics in language. Understanding semantics is crucial because it unveils the intricacies of how words and structures contribute to the overall meaning of a sentence. While grammar provides the rules for constructing sentences, semantics dives into the realm of why these structures convey the meanings they do. So, in the study of linguistics, semantics is the branch that focuses on understanding meaning in language. It goes beyond the formal structure, the syntax of sentences, and explores how words and linguistic structures contribute to the overall meaning of expressions. On the other hand, grammatical rules establish the guidelines for constructing sentences, dictating the arrangement of words and the relationships between them. The interplay between grammatical rules and semantic components is crucial for conveying precise and nuanced meaning in communication. While grammatical rules provide the framework, semantics enriches the communication by assigning specific meanings to words and structures. Let's have here the example sentence. So the example sentence is, "The cat is on the mat." So in grammatical rule, the sentence follows the grammatical rule of subject-verb-object, SVO structure, where the cat is the subject, is the verb, and on the mat is the object. And in semantic components, or semantically, each word contributes meaning to the sentence. For example, the word cat refers to a specific feline animal. The verb is indicates a state of being. The prepositional phrase on the mat specifies the location. In this example, the combination of grammatical rules and semantic components allows us to convey not only the structure of the sentence, but also the specific meaning that a cat is located on a mat. Understanding both aspects is crucial for effective communication, as deviations in either grammatical structure or semantic interpretation can lead to misunderstanding. And on the next page, we have here the grammatical rules. Grammatical rules serve as the foundation of language, providing a set of guidelines that govern how words are arranged to form coherent and meaningful sentences. These rules encompasses aspects such as word order, sentence structure, and the relationship between different elements within a sentence. So, grammatical rules are the guidelines that dictate how words should be arranged in a sentence. They ensure that our expressions make sense and can be easily understood. Think of these rules as the traffic signals of language, directing the flow of words to create well-organized and meaningful communication. And the impact on sentence structure. So consider the sentence structure like the scaffolding of a building. Grammatical rules determine where to place each element, subjects, verbs, objects, and modifiers in a sentence to ensure clarity and coherence. Just as well-constructed building stands strong, a well-constructed sentence communicates its message effectively. So we have here the example sentence. The sun sets behind the mountains. So the subject-verb-object structure, or SVO. So grammatical rules often follow a specific structure. In this case, the sun, that is subject, is followed by sets, the verb, and behind the mountains completes the thought. It's the object. And for the word order, grammatical rules dictate the order of words, changing the order to behind the mountains, the sun sets, alters the meaning. Clarity and meaning. The grammatical arrangement ensures that we understand it's the sun setting and not the mountains. So as we move forward, keep in mind that these grammatical rules serve as the backbone of language, allowing us to construct sentences that convey our thoughts with precision. So on the next slide, we have the semantic components. So semantic components are the elements within language that contribute to specific meanings of words and sentences. Think of them as the colors, shades, and textures that give depth and nuance to our expressions. Understanding semantic components is like deciphering the subtle hues that shape the overall picture of communication. So semantic components are, like in simpler terms, while grammatical rule structure are sentences, semantic components infuse them with meaning, guiding us through the intricacies of what words truly convey. So we have the sentence example. So consider the sentence, she found a lost puppy in the park. So in semantic components, found indicates discovery. Lost puppy specifies the object of the action. In the park adds the location context. And the meaning inference, the combination of the semantic components paints a vivid picture, a compassionate act of discovering a lost puppy, and the specific location where this heartwarming event took place. So understanding semantic components allows us to go beyond the surface of words, grasping the nuanced meanings embedded in sentences. As we proceed, we'll witness how the interplay between grammatical rules and semantic components crafts a tapestry of rich and vivid communication. And on the next page, we have here the motion verbs. So motion verbs are dynamic elements in language that vividly describe actions related to movement. They convey the sense of going from one place to another, adding a kinetic dimension to our expressions. Think of motion verbs as the choreographers of our linguistic ballet, directing the flow of action across the stage of our sentences. So we have here examples illustrating their role in expressing movement. So the first sentence, she ran to catch the bus. The motion verb ran vividly expresses the action of moving quickly, capturing the urgency and dynamism of the situation. The second sentence, the leaves swirled in the wind. Here, swirled adds a visual and dynamic quality, depicting the motion of leaves dancing in the wind. And the third sentence, he walked leisurely along the beach. The motion verb walked paints a serene picture of someone strolling by the beach, portraying a calm and relaxed movement. Understanding motion verbs allows us to convey not just the action itself, but also the manner and style in which the action unfolds. As we continue our linguistic exploration, keep an eye on how these motion verbs contribute to the vivid tapestry of our sentences. And we have here the causative verbs. So causative verbs are linguistic catalysts that indicate the action of causing something to happen. They empower us to express the idea of influencing or making someone or something else perform an action. Think of causative verbs as the directors behind the scenes, orchestrating events within the narrative of our sentences. So let's see the examples showcasing how they indicate causation. So we have the first sentence, she made him laugh. The causative verb made signifies her influence in causing the laughter, portraying her ability to bring about a specific result. The second sentence, the teacher had the students complete the assignment. Here, had as a causative verb implies the teacher's influence in ensuring the students completed the assignment under her guidance. And the third sentence, the storm forced them to cancel the event. The causative verb forced communicates the compelling nature of the storm, leading to the cancellation of the event. So causative verbs enrich our expressions by highlighting the cause and effect relationships within our narratives. And we have more sample sentences with motion and causative verbs. So the first sentence, the energetic child ran joyfully through the park, causing a flock of birds to scatter in surprise. In this sentence, the motion verb ran portrays the child's dynamic movement, while the causative verb causing links the child's action to the bird's startled reaction. The second sentence, he walked into the room and made everyone smile with his infectious laughter. Here, the motion verb walked describes his entrance, and the causative verb made emphasizes his influence in creating a positive reaction. And the third sentence, the river flowed gently, forcing the rocks to shift and create a new stream. In this example, the motion verb flowed characterizes the river's movement, while the causative verb forcing suggests its transformative impact on the rocks. So on the next page, we have here how grammatical structures interact with semantic components. The relationship between grammar and semantics is akin to a well-choreographed dance. While grammar provides the stage and set, semantics furnishes the vibrant characters and their actions. Together, they create a symphony of meaning that resonates through our sentences. So examples showcasing how changes in grammar alter sentence meaning. So number one, the original sentence, she gave him a book. So we are going to change in grammar. She gave a book to him. So the impact on meaning, the alteration in word order subtly shifts the focus, highlighting the act of giving and the recipient's role. And the second one, the original sentence, the cat is on the mat. And within a change in grammar, on the mat is the cat. So the impact on meaning, inverting the word order places emphasis on the cat's location rather than the action. And the third one, the original sentence, he quickly ate the delicious cake. Change in grammar, quickly he ate the delicious cake. So the impact on meaning, rearranging the adverb quickly changes the emphasis, portraying the speed of the action. By exploring these examples, we witness how subtle adjustments in grammar can alter the emphasis, focus, or overall meaning of a sentence. This dynamic interplay showcases the intricate relationship between the structural framework of language and the nuanced meanings we intend to convey. And now here on to the next topic, the methodology. Methodology in linguistics serves as the compass guiding our exploration into the vast and diverse landscape of language. It provides a systematic approach, a set of tools, and a framework for linguistic analysis, much like a skilled detective needs methods to solve a case. Linguists employ methodologies to decipher the mysteries held within the structure and meaning of language. Understanding the importance of methodology is akin to having a roadmap. It helps linguists navigate the complexities of language, ensuring precision and reliability in their analysis. Whether examining sentence structures, studying language acquisition, or exploring linguistic variation, a well-defined methodology is the cornerstone of meaningful linguistic inquiry. So we have here for the methodology, we have here the middle construction first. So middle construction is a linguistic phenomenon where the subject of a sentence assumes a role that is both the doer and the receiver of the action. It introduces a sense of reflexivity or self-involvement, capturing the idea that the subject is acting upon itself or undergoing a change. We have here examples demonstrating the use of middle construction. So the first sentence, she bathed in the warm, soothing water. Here, the subject she is actively involved in the action of bathing herself, embodying the essence of middle construction. The second sentence, the cake bakes in the oven. In this example, the subject, the cake, is both undergoing the action of baking and, in a sense, performing the action upon itself. And the third sentence, he enjoyed the movie. While not immediately apparent, the middle construction subtly suggests that the enjoyment is not just received but actively embraced by the subject, creating a nuanced layer of involvement. So by exploring these examples, we peel back the layers of language, uncovering how middle construction enriches our ability to convey actions and experiences. And we have here the conative construction. The conative construction embodies a sense of purpose or effort toward a goal. This linguistic phenomenon reflects expressions where the subject is not only engaged in an action, but is also actively striving to achieve a particular outcome. It encapsulates the notion of trying, attempting, or putting forth effort. So the example illustrating the conative aspect in linguistic expressions. The first sentence, she tried to solve the challenging puzzle. The conative construction here signifies the subject's exertion and intention to solve the puzzle, portraying an active effort. The team aimed to win the championship. That is the second sentence. In this example, the cognitive construction suggests a collective effort and goal setting as the team aspires to win the championship. And the third sentence, he struggled to understand the complex theory. The cognitive aspect comes to the forefront as the subject grapples with the challenging task of comprehending a complex theory. So by exploring these examples, we uncover the power of language to not only describe actions but also convey the intention, endeavor, and purpose behind them. And the third one, we have the body part ascension construction. So in linguistic terms, body part ascension construction refers to a phenomenon where body parts are conceptually elevated or raised in relation to the rest of the body. It brings a metaphorical sense of movement or change in elevation to language, creating a dynamic and visually evocative way of expressing actions or states. So, imagine language as a canvas and body part ascension construction as the brush stroke that adds dimension and vitality to the portrayal of actions and experiences. So we have here examples showcasing how body part ascension is employed in language. The first sentence, his spirits rose after receiving good news. In this example, the metaphorical ascension of spirits conveys an uplifting emotional state in response to positive news. The second sentence, her eyebrows shot up in surprise. Here, the ascension of eyebrows vividly portrays the sudden and dramatic expression of surprise. And the third sentence, the sun climbed above the horizon. The metaphorical ascension of the sun paints a visual image of the sun rising, bringing a dynamic quality of the description. So as we explore these examples, notice how body part ascension construction infuses language with a sense of movement, creating a vivid and expressive tapestry. Now, let's connect the ideas we've talked about with real-life situations as we look at how people use language in everyday ways. We'll check out actual examples and think about how culture and language influence the way these language structures are used. This helps us really understand how these ways of talking are used in the real world. So we have here the real world examples or scenarios. Let's start with the middle construction. The example sentence, she bathed in the warm, soothing water before the important meeting. So in everyday life, middle construction is commonly used when describing personal actions or routines such as bathing or dressing. And for the connotative construction, example sentence, they aim to create a welcoming atmosphere in the community event. Connotative constructions finds its place in goal-setting scenarios where individuals or groups aspire to achieve specific outcomes. And the third one, body part ascension construction. Example sentence, her shoulders slumped as she received the disappointing news. Body part ascension is frequently employed to depict changes in emotional states, like slumping shoulders conveying a sense of disappointment. And we have here the cultural or linguistic context. The first one, middle construction, cultural context. In some cultures, the emphasis on personal care and grooming may influence the frequency of using middle construction when describing daily activities related to self-care. And the connotative construction has a linguistic context. connotative construction is often utilized in languages that emphasize the intention or effort behind an action. For instance, language with specific verb forms indicating attempts or endeavors. And for the third one, the body part ascension construction, it has a cultural context. Cultural expressions of emotions vary, and body part ascension can be influenced by cultural norms. For example, raised eyebrows might convey surprise universally, but the degree of acceptance can vary. And by exploring these applications and contexts, we gain insights into the versatile nature of these linguistic constructions and how they adapt to various real-world scenarios and cultural nuances. And now we are in the third topic, the thematic roles. So thematic roles are the roles that different noun phrases play in relation to the action described by a verb. These roles illuminate who is doing the action, who is receiving it, and other essential aspects that contribute to the meaning of a sentence. And for the linking rules, on the other hand, dictate how these thematic roles align with the syntactic structure of a sentence. They provide the guidelines for connecting the participants in an action with the verb, ensuring a coherent and meaningful expression. And in the next slide, we have the locative alternation verbs. Locative alternation verbs are a subset of verbs that exhibit a unique flexibility in expressing the location of an action. These verbs can shift their syntactic structure, allowing for variations in how the location of an action is portrayed within a sentence. So we have here the examples illustrating how these verbs change the location of the action. So the first sentence example, she placed the book on the shelf. In this example, the locative alternation verb placed indicates a static action with the book at rest on the shelf. And for the second sentence, she put the book on the shelf. Here, the same action is expressed using a different locative alternation verb, put, maintaining the focus on the book's placement, but with a subtle shift in linguistic structure. And the third sentence, she placed the book on the shelf versus she placed the book there. The locative alternation is evident in these two constructions. The first emphasizes the specific location, on the shelf, while the second uses an adverb there to convey the same idea. So by exploring these examples, we unravel the dynamic nature of locative alternation verbs and how they contribute to the spatial nuances within language. And we have here the linkings. Linkings act as the bridges that span the gaps between verbs and their participants. They are the connectors that establish the relationships between thematic roles and the syntactic structure of a sentence. As we examine linkings, we uncover the mechanism that ensures the seamless flow of meaning and in our expressions. So picture a sentence as a puzzle with verbs, subjects, and objects as the pieces. Linkings serve as the interlocking pieces that bring coherence to the whole picture. They determine how participants fit into the action, shaping the narrative and allowing us to understand not only what is happening, but also who is involved and how. So we have here the examples. So the first example, linking with a direct object. The sentence is, she bought a new laptop. The linking in this sentence, the verb bought, links the subject she with the direct object a new laptop. The linking mechanism here is the action of purchasing, establishing a connection between the buyer, subject, and the purchased item, direct object. And for the example 2, linking with an indirect object, example sentence, he gave his sister a birthday present. So the verb gave serves as the link between the subject he and both the indirect object, his sister, and the direct object, a birthday present. The linking function here involves the act of giving, connecting the giver, the recipient, and the gift. And example 3, linking with prepositional phrases. Example sentence, they walked across the bridge to the park. In this sentence, the verb walked connects with the subject, they, and is linked to both the prepositional phrase across the bridge and the destination to the park. The linking mechanism involves the action of walking, establishing a route and destination. And example 4, linking with adverbs. Example sentence, she spoke confidently during the presentation. The verb spoke links with the subject she and is connected to the adverb confidently, indicating the manner in which the action is performed. The linking function here involves the act of speaking with a specific quality. In each example, the linking elements play a crucial role in connecting the different components of the sentence, whether they are direct or indirect, prepositional phrases, or adverbs. This linking serves as the glue that binds the various linguistic elements together, allowing for a coherent and meaningful expression of ideas. And now we have here Cad's distinction in semantics. So in the landscape of semantics, Charles J. Katz proposed a distinction that helps unravel the intricacies of meaning within linguistic expressions. Katz's framework delves into the role of words in conveying meaning, emphasizing their function as their markers or distinguishers. So we have an explanation of markers and distinguishers in linguistic analysis. So for the markers are words that contribute to the basic core meaning of a concept. They serve as essential elements that help identify and present a particular category or idea. For example, a cozy fireplace. In the phrase, a cozy fireplace, the word fireplace is a marker as it directly represents the core concept of a heating structure. And the distinguishers are words that add specificity or distinctions to a concept, helping to differentiate it from other related concepts. They contribute additional details or nuances to the basic meaning. So in the phrase a roaring fireplace, the word roaring acts as a distinguisher, providing additional information about the nature of the fireplace, intense and loud. So by understanding the interplay between markers and distinguishers, we gain insight into how language captures not only the fundamental essence of concepts, but also the nuances and variations that enrich their meanings. Katz's distinction provides a valuable lens through which we can analyze the building blocks of meaning within semantic structures. And to the next page, we have examples showing how markers and distinguishers contribute to semantic meaning. So we have the first one, example with a marker phrase, a beautiful flower. In this example, the word flower acts as a marker representing the core concept of a floral entity. The adjective beautiful adds a layer of appreciation but doesn't fundamentally alter the basic meaning of a flower. And for the example with a distinguisher, the phrase a red rose, here the word rose serves as a marker representing the general concept of a flower. The adjective red acts as a distinguisher, providing specific information about the color of the rose, adding a distinct quality to the basic concept. And the third one, example with both marker and distinguisher, phrase. So here is the phrase, an ancient artifact. The term artifact function as a marker, conveying the basic idea of a human-made object. The adjective ancient serves as a distinguisher, specifying the time period and adding a nuanced layer to the concept. So by exploring these examples, we witness how the interplay between markers and distinguishers shapes the semantic landscape. Markers establish the core meaning while distinguishers contribute additional details, enabling a more nuanced and precise expression of concepts. Katz's distinction proves valuable in dissecting the intricacies of meaning within the language. And that concludes my report for the topic grammatical rules and semantic components. Thank you.